SFJ 4x4 Studios presents
in my oversized four-wheel drive Jeep.
a Jeep podcast starring industry experts.
Pure monosity. What? Say that again.
With mad scientist Scott Brown,
Use my drill press as a sort of lathe.
our host Neil Simpson,
If one light goes out, they all go out.
filled with shenanigans.
We are really professional with Jeeps.
This is I Speak Jeep.
Hey Jeep family, Neil with SFJ4x4.com, Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival 2023, and the decorated event organizer from the beginning, Patty Joe. The myth, the legend, right? How are you doing? How's the show?
Show's been awesome.
It has been.
Anytime we have great weather, it's a great show, and
Yes.
we've had that this weekend, so it's been amazing. Huge crowds coming in, lots of Jeeps. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. And so like last year we were talking, so a couple of changes, like the big registration tent and some of the other decorations didn't get set up that far ahead of schedule. Why?
Well, we got blown away by a huge storm
Totally
the
got-
Wednesday night before the event. So
Yeah.
that Thursday, we were basically starting over what we did
What?
on Tuesdays.
What are you doing?
I know. It's
What
following
is
me.
this?
Oh no!
Patty Joe! What?
You know, I really like to have a presence at Bantam, you know?
Are you kidding me? It's a sign
It's a
from
sign.
God. Well then,
Yeah, really. Like, what timing was that?
oh, it's great weather as the tent just eats us at the moment. Oh my gracious. All right, so that was
Okay.
all good and gravy. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I started out in 2009 trying to plan our very first Bantam. So our first one was in 2011.
Yep.
So this
Not
was-
at this location.
No, first 2 years we were a couple miles down the road at the Big Butler Fairgrounds.
The Big Butler Fairgrounds, which is actually where I started with this event.
In 2012?
Was 2012, down at the Butler Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And then we transitioned just down the road to here to Cooper's Lake.
Yep.
Which is a beautiful facility, lots of camping, and everything's kind of reasonably right here, with the exception of the new property that was added a couple years ago, right?
Right, our new property is about 4 miles away, so we have off-site trail rides there throughout the weekend.
Yes, and obviously a fall event and potentially other events growing with the Bantam branding on it, but for now, 2 events specifically associated with the festival, right?
Exactly. So we're the second weekend in June for Bantam and the second weekend in October for Trail Fest.
Oh, so years ago I remember talking to, with you because for the longest time, Bantam had become associated with Father's Day weekend. And I still remember being on the phone shortly thereafter with you and getting the news because of the second weekend and how things fall. And we were talking about the fact that Father's Day actually hops around, right?
It does, and we will hit Father's Day again.
We will, right. Now, I remember there was like, you knew the date and it was like almost like 2030 or
Yeah,
something.
it's again, but we're gonna enjoy it not being on Father's Day,
Okay.
just because some people look at it as a great thing. Some people are like, can't come then. So.
Yes, yes. So it is the second weekend of June here and second week of October over there.
Right.
How do you see the ebb and flow of the event over the years?
Gosh, it's been crazy. When I look back at pictures from 2013 when we were here for the first time, and I see how we've grown in 10 years from
Right.
then, it's just really astronomical.
Right.
I mean, the vendors, the trails, all the different activities. There's things we've started, there's things we've changed, there's things that we've created new, and every year we still try to offer something new. This year we had several new things that we added in that
What was
really
new
did
this
great.
year?
So this year, one of the things we did was the Jeep Safari. So we partnered with
yeah.
a business just up the road in Grove City, Keystone Safari.
Okay.
They have a drive-through safari. So we're like, hey,
That's
we're all
perfect.
about driving.
Right.
So that was a new thing.
Especially if somebody is maybe a new Jeep owner and not a wheeler per
Exactly.
se, right? Or light-hearted wheeler. You know what I mean? They go and use the Jeep and do something social.
Right, and
That's cool.
they gave us, we created a great package that gave everybody a lot of bonuses that they wouldn't get otherwise
Okay.
if they weren't part of Bantam. The other thing we offered this year was Bantam Boot Camp. And that was like a beginner event that we offered. It's very much like the Babes of Bantam women's only event that we do every year.
Okay.
And that's an opportunity to teach women how to have their off-road skills and
Yeah.
people who are fairly new to going wheeling.
Sure.
And so we did the same thing this year, and we called it Bantam Boot Camp. We offered it on Thursday before the event began, and that was for both men and women. So it was another opportunity to reach out to newbies.
I caught rumor, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the event's starting on Thursday this year, and a couple of people reached out to us, and I was like, it's not, but I bet that's
what they heard.
That was kind of the interpretation they took. Now, we did interview somebody earlier this year, so there's a request for something you bring back, and it was
Okay.
a decorating contest.
Oh, that would have been what we called Rough and Tough.
Oh.
And it was kind of like a what used to be called Show and Shine that we now call Best of Bantam, but it was a competition that people could decorate their Jeeps in different ways. So we had themes. So there was the most patriotic, the most creative, a character.
Yeah.
So we just did, it was a really fun thing.
Yes.
And we just didn't have as much participation, but that was a long time ago. So it might be something we ought to rethink to bring back.
I think she had mentioned it was like 3 or 4 years ago, but it actually springboarded the identity of her Jeep because she did it for this event. It was really neat to hear that this identity, this social media presence that she now has started right here because she actually decorated, it won, people appreciate it. She saw how excited people got by the decoration and was like, I want to do more of this.
And she's gone full throttle with it.
And gone full throttle, which is really cool to see how the show, again, it's not just the trails, it's not just the vending, how something can springboard somebody else to, fulfillment.
Yeah.
So if you had, what would you say your elevator pitch, what would you tell people that Bantam is in a 30-second, which can be whatever, relative.
Yeah.
This microphone is so heavy.
That's why I'm going to let you keep holding it.
Yeah, right here.
Here's what I tell people about Bantam. I've been to many different Jeep events, and what I think makes Bantam special is that we're something for every Jeep enthusiast. We have the whole history, the history of the Jeep and the World War II encampment here. So people who love the military history of the Jeep, we have that. People who want to put tons of accessories and don't want to speck of dirt on their Jeep, we have that with our Best of Bantam. Then we have so many things for off-roaders, people who really want to go on our green, blue, and black trails.
Sure.
We have our on-site trails called here at the Cooper's Lake, and we have, as you mentioned, our property, which is called the Bantam Quarry at Kildew, so we have several off-road opportunities. Right. And then we have opportunities for people who are kind of in between, and that's like the Jeep and Seek event that we just brought back or started this year. It's an app, and it's like a scavenger hunt.
Sure.
And it's really fun to take people around, and of course we're having them visit Jeep artifacts, Jeep-themed things throughout the region. So we have that. We have a state park scenic tour because we're blessed to be along 2 state parks.
Yes.
And so we take them and they get to learn some of the things about those parks. And it's a really beautiful driving tour. So we offer a lot for everybody. So
Absolutely.
That's what I think we love.
I've always told people, and magazines are less relevant than they were when we started. To think about the fact that there was actually off-road and 4x4 magazines when we started doing this, and now we don't even have those magazines. But I used to tell people what's unique about this show, in my opinion, is it was actually physically being in a magazine. So there was history, there was how-tos, there was editorials, there was a little bit of product shopping or advertisement. And so that's how I always kind of explained it to people to say, hey, there's a little bit of everything. And so we pick up that magazine. If you wanted to do an ad or a little bit of shopping, there was that. If there was a little how-to article. And if you wanted to breeze over an article and not go wheeling, you don't have to go wheeling. You could just do the invasion and hang out with your friends and eat good food and, see the sights that Butler has to offer, which is always cool,
Right.
So I think that's what's kind of unique for this. So 2 final questions.
Okay.
Where do you see this show going, or this group going with this event?
That's something we're in the planning process of, what can we do here? What can we do different? And, one of the things that we've really come down to is simplification.
Okay.
We've learned that, we've done many different things that add a new experience for people, but, they love the trails, they love the Jeep playground, they love the vendor area, they love the Jeep invasion. Those are the key things that make us really special and what people want to come back to.
Make the show uniquely itself, or the event uniquely it.
Exactly. Yeah. And as we continue to grow, there's always more challenges. So we want to make sure that we keep getting better and better at what we do and
Absolutely.
make the experience even better for everybody.
Yeah, which is, there's so many shows now, and I think Bantam still maintains a market presence as one of the premium shows of the country, you know what I mean? So obviously maintaining all that, the last question is, how would somebody get involved? So somebody, I mean, we have customers ourselves and followers ourselves who are involved, and so I'm familiar with that to a degree, and they're kind of all over the country and want to see the success of this event. But if somebody who's watching, somebody who's maybe not familiar, how would they get involved?
Really, it's quite easy. We have more than 500 volunteers who help Bantam.
Yeah, it's a lot of volunteers at this show.
There's a sea of orange shirts out here this year.
Shirts, yes.
And the big thing about it is that we need every single person to help make Bantam successful because we run on all volunteers. And so I think that in order to get involved, it's really easy. If you're local, we have a planning committee. They're the ones who really put this whole event together. They're the managers of everything we do.
Sure.
And we have a meeting every single month, and where we plan everything about Bantam and Trail Fest. So all somebody needs to do is email us at info@bantam.org,
Yes.
and they can get in touch with us, and we'll get them hooked in with us. The other thing is, whenever it's time to register your Jeep to come to Bantam, you can register to be a volunteer, and you get free activities.
Yes.
Everybody loves the coveted volunteer shirt.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, you save money, but even better, you really get to meet people and really get the whole behind the scenes effect of what we do.
That's as important of creating community as actually coming and participating.
Right.
I know a guy came over, individual came over, he was working at the offsite trails, he had some sunburn, and he was like, yeah, I was out in the staging lane and it was hot, and he was very positive, and I took a moment to make sure I thanked him, and I said, hey, you know what, without you in that staging lane, those people who were out there getting to experience those trails for the first time wouldn't have had such a seamless experience.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So definitely one of the shows, this is just loaded with volunteers. So
it is, and it was really fun. We do a volunteer orientation night on Thursday, and usually several hundred volunteers are at it. And I kicked it off this year by sharing some of the comments we received from last year's event, things that we heard on Facebook, emails we received, and 90% of our comments are all about how awesome our volunteers are and how they've really made the experience better for our attendees, and we so appreciate that.
There's always going to be highs and lows of anything we do, and an event this magnitude, there's overwhelming more positive than anything. So we're so thankful for your leadership, your organization, and the event. And 2024, folks, we're definitely going to be back with parts and process and meet and greets. So thank you so much. I'm going to come in for a hug.
Thank you. And we love having Simpson Family Jeeps has really, like we said, you've been part of us for
we've been institutionalized with each other at
we
this
grew
point,
up
so,
together.
Yes,
so,
that's exactly it. So
although I'm still working on that. There we go. See, yeah.
Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival 2023, the very unique, exciting, awesome opportunities that the event gives the participants is cool experiences like getting to meet Cookie Monster. So this particular outfit came rolling by yesterday, and again, if you've been aware of much of anything that I do, I'm a child when it comes to fun, smile-inducing activities, and especially Jeeps. And you pair those things together, Cookie, right? It's perfect. So it comes rolling by, and I was all disappointed that we didn't get a chance to check it out, talk about it, and get it on camera for you. But here we are. You guys came cruising by. So can you tell us a little bit, your name, and where you're from, and kind of how did you get into this?
Well, I'm Jeannie. This is Jeff Whitling, and I really got into all the Jeeping stuff because I deliver mail for the post office. So I have a right-hand drive Jeep that I brought to Bantam one year and decorated it as Cookie Monster and won first place, and it kind of spiraled into what I call bringing smiles to people.
Which is super cool because you have a little card that says that. And so let me break this down. Did you have a Jeep before, or is this the Jeep that you've been delivering in previously?
No, I actually have the Minion Jeep before.
Okay, so you have another Jeep then?
No, we have three.
Oh, okay, multi-Jeep household. We can identify. We can get that, right?
They kind of multiply.
Are they all RHD? Are they all right-handers?
All right-hand drive.
Oh, I bet you just weird people out all the time.
Oh, we do.
Which is awesome. It's cool.
It's fun.
We service a number of right-hand drives, and they either have to back through, like the bank, the teller or whatever.
I just lean over.
Just lean over. You're a pro. That's why you guys are a pro. So you bring the Jeep to Bantam. And there's a decorating contest? Well, when was that or so?
That was about, I think, 3 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that.
And there's like just a funsy decorating contest.
Yeah, just decorating contest.
All right.
I wish they'd brought it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it gave birth to Cookie Monster.
That's right.
So you decorated up as Cookie Monster. Was this individual there, or
no?
This is
an add-on.
This is an add-on.
I had a granddaughter, so she had to have
Congratulations.
a Jeep like mine.
Congratulations. So this is actually the granddaughter's Jeep.
It's her Jeep. That's why it says Chloe.
Oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. So I saw Cookie Monster in the show and shine. So you do continue to bring Cookie Monster around then?
I do.
And
I do. Everybody really loves it. I had no idea until this past weekend how many people actually went to the Jeep invasion down in Butler just because they knew I'd be there.
Because they knew the Cookie
and
Monster would be there?
Cookie Monster.
Do you ever like hand out like little individual cookies or anything like
I
that?
have, but not at that one because there's thousands of people there. Now I do take Cookie Monster, baby Cookie Monster, and we do car shows every Saturday and Sunday.
Do you really?
And sometimes throughout the week, just depends on where, but yeah. And I hand out the cookies there.
So what's your motivation? I mean, obviously I can understand it, but like what would you say your motivation is?
Just bringing smiles to people. I mean, I love kids and I love the reaction that they have to seeing it.
Yeah.
Even older people, they love it.
Well, Cookie Monster is iconic, first of all.
Yeah.
And second of all, I mean, I heard you mention COVID, which we all lived through.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of identify with something that made us happy was really, really important.
And that was a really big part of what happened throughout me building my Jeep. Because I did want to bring smiles to people, and I discovered that'd be a way to do it, because we were doing all the birthday parades and everything.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
So you come to the decorating contest kind of before COVID?
Oh
and
yeah,
decorated?
that was before COVID.
Okay, so that was before COVID. You do the decorating. Yeah. This is a big hit. Because we are like technical Jeep people, what year is your Jeep?
This is 2015.
So a 2015 JK 4-door, right? JKU. Yep. And then you come in, you decorate it, and you're like, hey, that's cool. And then the shutdowns and all that kind of craziness happens, right? Reasonably speaking.
Pretty much.
So then we start doing the parades and stuff.
Yeah, I started doing the parades, but then I actually fried all the wires under my hood from delivering mail, because when COVID hit, mail went, instead of 4.5-hour delivery, it was more like 7.5-hour delivery.
Oh yeah, the whole.
So it was running so hot under there, I fried all those wires. So $5,000 later, had it fixed, and I'm putting a new hood. And there's where everything.
This is the spiral. I sense the spiral coming.
It looked so cool with the new hood with the vents.
Yes.
That it just went. Oh.
I should do more of this.
With new rims and tires. Can you imagine that with a little something on the side?
Yes.
Yeah, it just spiraled way out of control.
Nice. So you do that, then you start doing the parades, and you realize that people are really enjoying this.
Yeah, they are.
And so you're on Facebook?
Facebook and TikTok.
TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Blue Jeep Crew. I know you're on there.
Oh yes, definitely Blue Jeep Crew. Hi, Neil.
When we associate in that regard, right? And you're just making people smile.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
What I love to do, just go around and make people smile.
And the future may hold some hydraulics or...
Absolutely. So I can bounce it for the kids.
She wants to bounce it, which is, she goes, is that something you guys could do? And I thought, well, nobody's ever actually asked us to make a Jeep hop or bounce. I mean, I am personally interested in that as an automotive enthusiast, but what an interesting experience that would be, and definitely would be a crowd pleaser.
Well, here's the biggest reason I want to be able to do that. I would really like to make it to Sesame Street Live and bounce it before the performances show it off to everybody before the performances.
She's got
That'd
she's
be
got
awesome.
a great ulterior motive with it. That's cool.
You know, like, can you imagine if you want to make somebody smile? What better way? There's already a huge crowd,
Yes.
so
Oh, you're lovely. That is really cool. Thank you guys for coming over and sharing this with us. If you guys want to check out more, we have. Where's your card at, real quick?
right
Pull that
here.
out. If you want to check out more, bringing smiles to people, Jean's Jammin' Jeeps, and Facebook or TikTok, you can follow Cookie Monster, and make sure you check it out. Enjoy. And hopefully the future has lots and lots and lots of
I hope
smiles
so.
for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
So I'm from the Jeep Life podcast.
Jeep Life, all right.
Yep.
Very nice.
And so we sit down and talk everything Jeep, from small to big and everything in between. What do you guys talk about?
So kind of the same thing. We start off with Jeep Life talking about our outside lives, our projects and stuff.
Absolutely.
And then we'll talk a little bit about just Jeeps in general. That's our meat and potato.
Yeah.
Whether it be wheeling adventures or whatnot. And then the end of our episode, we always do a hashtag not sponsored, and we always review a product.
Right, I hear
whether
that.
it's good or bad.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. So, yeah, nice to meet a fellow podcaster, and
Absolutely.
yeah, it's great to be talking to you.
What do you think of Bantam 2023 so far?
Absolutely thought it was an amazing show. I mean, from the trail rides all the way down to the playground, the mud hole, and just getting to be here and talk to all of our customers. It's really, it's near and dear to our heart because, we hear them on the phone, but we can't talk to them face to face. So this is where we can do that, and it's the best for us. Answer any questions and also help out everybody with any technical stuff.
Did you go out on the trails?
I did.
Yeah?
So it was good. We had the JTE out on the trail this weekend, and it handled amazing.
What trail did you go out on?
So we went out on the black.
Oh.
Yeah, had to do it. So
Nice.
Yeah, so we went out on that. You can check it out on our Facebook page and everything like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
We took my Gladiator out on the trails
Awesome.
today. We went on a little private tour with one of the guys running it.
Cool.
So we went on Blue.
Yeah.
Just for a little fun
Right,
ride.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just getting out on the trails. That's what
absolutely.
every Jeeper likes to do.
Absolutely.
Or drive to the mall.
Well, we build them so you could do both.
Absolutely.
That's I don't know if you're familiar with SFJ 4x4, but that's what we do. We just build Jeeps.
Yeah.
It has to be Jeep for us to work on it. We'll do as little as an oil change all the way up to full restoration.
Awesome.
So we have a lot of fun with
That's
that.
really cool. Yeah.
One of these times we'll have to have you on to our podcast and vice versa. I'm
Yeah, we
sure.
love doing joint podcasts, and then we both release an episode. It's
Yep.
fun for us, fun for you.
We did it last year with Northwest Jeepcast because they were on
Oh,
site
we
at
had
Bantam
them
last
on
year.
as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after they left here, they actually drove out to AOAA.
Yep.
And we met up with them and did a joint
Nice.
podcast with them and got to wheel with them as well. So
Oh
it was
yeah,
a lot
Gary
of
and
fun.
Gary are great, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They're
Absolutely.
so fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
So-
And then also you could follow him all the time on his Ultra 4 rig.
Oh yeah.
So they go hard.
That was a wild trip they did last year. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah. And I think we only caught them at like a third of the way through, and they went all south and
Yeah.
That was a big trip.
60 days and hit everything.
yeah, that was awesome. I wouldn't want to know the diesel price.
Especially last year.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
well thanks. It was nice
Hey,
meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you as well. Have a good one.
We'll see you around.
Definitely.